Hey everybody, it is Tuesday, September 7th. Welcome to school after your 3-day weekend. Well, I'm feeling a little rough today, so I'm at home and I wanted to show you what I would like you to accomplish today. We spent last week working on the 13 colonies. We invested money in a colony. We actually, in some classes, made some money in our colony. Well, we spent Friday spending a little bit of time fighting the French and Indian War. The British, their 13 colonies and their Indian friends won the French and Indian War. Yay, now the French are all gone. There's no more French west of the Appalachian Mountains. The British and their colonies have access of everything the whole way up to the Mississippi River. All that really great land. And it's all British, all free for the taking. Well, it's not all perfect. And that's what we're learning about this week, really, is the bad news of the French and Indian War, that the good relationships between the British colonies and the British government over in England are going to start falling apart. We've been getting along great for 160 something years since Jamestown Colony was established in 1607, the whole way up till 1763 to the end of the French and Indian War. But now the British are going to start charging us some taxes that we don't think are very fair. We think they are just trying to make us pay for the French and Indian War in an unfair sort of way. Well, yeah, they are trying to make us pay for the war. They're not shy about telling us that. The British feel like, hey, we fought this very expensive war for you, and now you need to help pay for it. Well, the Americans aren't going to like that a whole lot. We think the whole British Empire should be paying for this war. It's not just for the American colonies. So this week, we're going to study a bunch of events that are going to lead us closer and closer and closer to the American Revolution. And maybe early next week, that American Revolution is going to start. Let me show you what I'd like you to do today to start learning about the events leading to the Revolutionary War, the road to the Revolution. When you first came in today, I believe there was a document on the screen that looks a lot like this. Whoops, not that, sorry. Let me try a different one. Like that. You were picking up a road to the Revolution timeline and then a taxation frustration sheet. Okay. And by now, you already have those in your notebook. You have written the Road to the Revolution timeline at number 4 on your table of contents. And number 5 is the taxation frustration sheet on your table of contents. And now we're going to go to the week of September 6th on Canvas. Guess you're probably already there, aren't you? So here we are, week of September 6th through 10th. And as this opens, we're going to scroll down to Monday or Tuesday, because you were off school yesterday on Monday. There we go. Our LEQ today is, why did the American colonists become frustrated with taxation after the French and Indian War? We'll actually answer that question tomorrow after we can do an activity called Taxation Frustration, where I get to be the King of England, King George III, and I get to frustrate you with taxes, and I'll think it's really funny. Ha! You won't like it. And that's what I want you to do, is kind of feel the frustration that the American colonists are experiencing. So right now you're doing number 1, you're watching this video explaining what to do. Several activities that I want you to do today. You're going to complete a pre-quiz of today's learning. 10 questions, and they are about what we're learning today. And right now, it's okay if you don't know anything. You should know a bunch of this by the time we are finished. The next activity you're going to do is you are going to go to this Quizlet list to learn about events leading to the revolution. Now, as I open this up, Quizlet has a whole bunch of terms. I think there's actually 20 in this set that are different events that lead us from the end of the French and Indian War up to the beginning of the American Revolution over about a 13-year time period or 15-year time period. So what's happening is some of these different laws and acts are those taxes that the British are charging the American colonies. Some of those are ones that the Americans think are just not very fair. And so we try to retaliate. We decide some of those, we're just not paying them. Or we're going to come up with funny pranks to do to the tax collectors. Or, well, we're going to do a number of things to protest. Some of those protests are kind of funny and prankish. Some are just downright mean, and some are pretty much illegal. So what you're going to do with these is, on your Road to the Revolution timeline, some of these terms that are on your timeline, you're going to write this definition on the timeline. For example, the Boston Tea Party is on there in 1773. The Intolerable Acts also are on your timeline. Non-importation agreements are on your timeline. Not all of these words are on your timeline, so you're just writing down the definitions of ones that are there. Quartering Act, ooh, we really don't like that. The Townsend Acts, you can see, are attacks on tea and glass and paper. And so all these things that are on your timeline, you're going to write down those definitions, take them straight off of Quizlet onto your Road to the Revolution timeline. Okay? Now, next job for you after you've done that, you are going to watch two short videos about the Sugar Act and the Stamp Act. And those are, two acts that are meant to make Americans pay for the French and Indian War. And then I'd like you to just tell me a little story about yourself. Activity number 5, tell me about funny pranks. In this Clarky discussion, you're going to tell about a funny prank you played, or maybe wanted to play on somebody, or maybe it was played on you. My point being, especially the Boston Tea Party, the Americans think is a funny prank, but the British don't see it that way at all. Maybe it's a prank that you want to tell me about that you thought was going to be funny, but really didn't turn out that great. Or maybe it turned out bad, or whatever. Many American colonists wanted to prank British tax collectors because they were mad about unfair taxation. So tell me in this discussion about a funny prank you played on someone or wanted to play. I'll tell you sometime when I come back to school about a funny prank I played on one of my college roommates, which really got him mad, and since he's a lot bigger than me, got me into a lot of trouble. Hey, well, we were still friends. In fact, he was the best man at my wedding, so it's okay. It turned out all right. So remember, in a discussion like this, you're going to click on reply, and then you will tell me a story. Tell me a little story about yourself or a prank that you're familiar with or something like that. Make me laugh, entertain me, because if I'm sitting at home today being sick, I need something to cheer me up. So that's your job right now. Remember, when you are finished writing about your prank, you want to post your reply. Now, last couple of things you're going to do today in Canvas to show me you have learned something is you're going to go back to, let me go back to the right place. Let me go back to the right place. Canvas running really slow at my house right now. Okay. Yes, leave that. Okay, it's coming. I know it is. Here it is. All right. So on Tuesday's Canvas, after you've done the pretest, you've done the Road to the Revolution timeline, you have watched the two videos, and you've told me about a funny prank, you're going to go ahead and do a post quiz of today's learning. Now, cool thing is you get 3 attempts at this one. You get 3 attempts to get these things right, and I expect everyone will be perfect by the end of those 3 attempts, because you're going to learn about the Proclamation of 1763 and the Stamp Act and the Sugar Act and the Townsend Acts and the Sons of Liberty, the Boston Tea Party and things like that. Now, through the week, we'll kind of act some of this stuff out, and in class, we'll do some of it so you can kind of experience what the American colonists are feeling and what they're doing. All right, so that's what you're doing today. If you finish all that before the class period ends, you can watch CNN 10 because you definitely want to do well on current events, which comes up on Friday. All right, that's where we are for today, and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow.